Now, you would be, when you become a senator, you would have just one voice out of 100. How would you get things done considering you're one voice in a large crowd?
Well, for me, I'm an organizer by life. I've, spent time building coalitions, bringing people together into the political process that often felt like their voices weren't heard. What I understand is the first person that flips Texas blue, their megaphone is very big. And their megaphone is more than just that one Senate seat. It's about rebuilding.
And you want to be that person.
I want to help be that person that rebuilds the Democratic Party in the second most populous state in the country with 36 congressional seats and 38 electoral votes, that helps Democrats up and down the ticket across our state and supports candidates to run on the big, bold initiatives that Americans and Texans are especially hungry for. So for me, I'm going to go in and lead, understanding that yes, maybe there's 2 senators for every state, but I'm representing the great big state of Texas with 29 million people, and I'm going to run my Senate office with the scale and ambition that our state deserves.
Now, you have to get through John Cornyn. Now, could you compare yourself to Mr. Cornyn? I don't know if you...
Yeah, so I think John Cornyn is a failed senator. When I think about the fact that he's been our senator for almost 18 full years, and that we have the highest uninsured rate of any state in the country, one of the highest childhood poverty rates, and the fact that we are majority people of color in the state, immigrants and children of immigrants, and he's aligned himself with the president and party that has attacked us and demonized us, the state's majority. I don't think he belongs at all being in office as our senator, and I think it's about time we had someone that represented the diverse interests and needs and actually wanted to lead and be as bold as this state is. Many Texans don't even know who John Cornyn is, and that's because he hasn't been leading, he's been following. I'm going to be a leader for our state.
And one of the things that you said was important for your campaigns to get the Latino vote out, and you've been working very hard, not only before a candidate and as a candidate. I think it's still very hard. I had a conversation with a friend of mine, one who's African American, one who's Latino, said that he doesn't believe that his vote matters. And another person said that a lot of candidates talk to them like they're a monolith, that they're one group as opposed to what are my issues. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, look, people, when I was running JOLT, this organization that was focused on mobilizing young Latino voters, candidates and people in the party would come to me and try and figure out what was the secret sauce to getting out Latino voters. And I'm a person that runs off of data, off of proven strategies. There's a few simple things you need to do that many in our party haven't done with Latino voters and voters of color. You have to spend money on them, and not in the last few weeks of the election, but from when you start your campaign. You have to know what their issues are, and know deeply what they are. Part of what I did when I crafted Beto O'Rourke's campaign plan about how they were going to reach out to Latino voters was help them understand that the number one issue actually in this state was health care for all for Latinos, because we have the highest uninsured rate. Immigration was important, but it wasn't our only issue. And then the third thing you have to do is you have to go actually knock on their doors, get them involved in your campaigns much earlier and through oftentimes people from their own community. And then you get them out to vote. We're seeing a huge increase in the Latino vote in our state, and that's also why I'm running, is I want to be the candidate that represents every single Texan, no matter what their background is, because currently we have a senator that only seems to want to represent one ethnic group, one demographic, one income bracket in our state, and it's not working out so well for the rest of us. But I know that nobody wins in the state unless they drive up voter turnout amongst Latinos, and I think I'm the best candidate to do that.
And you talked a little bit about data. So it sounds like the nerdiness in you is coming out that your dad's foresaw. And I guess you're combining it with obviously your background. So how does the data influence what you do?
Well, if you look at an election like 2016, amongst Latino voters, 62% of Latinos in 2016, when Trump was on the ticket, said they were never contacted by any candidate or any party to go vote, when the other person at the top of the ticket was attacking our community primarily to win his election. So one, I know the figures about how many voters don't get talked to, about where they live in this state. And I also know what we're up against in this state. The fact that Texans work more hours than most people in other states, but you wouldn't know it by looking inside our pocketbooks. And so I talk about those issues that are based on data, but also the experiences I've had working across the state over 15 years, representing the needs of ordinary Texans and bringing them together to make government work for them. Thank you.
Thank you.